Welcome to the Word for Life podcast, a daily devotional covering the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
In Judges chapter 13, we read about the parents of Samson. Verse 3 tells us that the angel of the Lord directly appeared to Samson's mother and said, "You are barren and childless, but you are going to become pregnant and give birth to a son." Friends, this was such a good news for her. But in verse 4, the angel of the Lord added a disturbing command. Verse 4 we read, "Now see to it that you drink no wine or other fermented drink, and that you do not eat anything unclean." You see, it was a very basic command in the law of Moses that Israelites should not eat unclean food. But the angel of the Lord mentions even that basic command. This only reveals how much the Israelites did not follow the law of the Lord. That is why in verse 1 we read, "Again the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, so the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. Further in verse 5, the angel of the Lord also tells Samson's mother, "You will become pregnant and have a son whose head is never to be touched by a razor, because the boy is to be a Nazarite, dedicated to God from the womb. He will take the lead in delivering Israel from the hands of the Philistines." But hearing this, Samson's mother is only confused. She tells her husband that she is not sure who really met her. And Samson's father Manoah then wants to see the angel one more time so he can, as verse 8 says, know how to bring up the boy who is to be born. But friends, in verse 5, the angel of the Lord had very clearly described how Samson has to be raised as a Nazarite. You see, all this shows God's grace on Samson's parents. Friends, even when God's people do not have a good understanding of God, still He comes to reveal Himself in ways they could understand Him. So because Samson's father asked, in verse 13 and 14 we read, the angel of the Lord came back and repeated the same thing he said earlier. But after the second appearance, the Bible author says in verse 16, Manoah did not realize that it was the angel of the Lord. Finally, the angel of the Lord graciously performs a miracle for Samson's parents. When Manoah offered a sacrifice to the Lord, verse 20 says, "As the flame blazed up from the altar toward heaven, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame. Seeing this, Manoah and his wife fell with their faces to the ground." Verse 21, when the angel of the Lord did not show himself again to Manoah and his wife, Manoah realized that it was the angel of the Lord. So finally, Samson's parents realize that this is the angel of the Lord. But in verse 24, the Bible author says that it was Samson's mother who gave him his name. You see, the name Samson is similar to the Hebrew word for son and also the Canaanite sun god. It's surprising how after two appearances of the Lord, Samson's mother did not give him a name related to the name of Yahweh. For example, Zechariah means the Lord remembered, but Samson's mother gave him a pagan name. But in spite of all this, verse 24 and 25 says, "Samson grew and the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him while he was in Mahane Dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol." Friends, God is so perfect and desires perfection in us. But none of us are perfect. In fact, we have all fallen short of the glory of God. We are like Samson's parents, lacking the understanding of God. We are only growing. Yet, the Holy Spirit helps us grow in the knowledge of our God day after day. Friends, God's grace is so without bounds that He does not abandon us in spite of our weaknesses, but He reveals Himself to us repeatedly. God continues to draw us closer to Him every day so that we will know Him better.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of the Word for Life podcast.